Solving multi-step equations. A variable is an unknown value that we're solving for and is most often represented by a letter. A lot of the times that letter is x. A term is a single number, a single variable, or the product, and product meaning multiply. So the product of several numbers or variables. Terms are separated by a plus or a minus sign in an overall expression. For example, in 3 plus 4x squared minus 5yzw, our first term is the number 3. Our second term is 4x squared. And our third term is 5yzw. The coefficient is a number that's in front of a variable and represents multiplication with that variable. So if you have 4x, the number 4 is the coefficient, and it represents multiplication, like 4 times some value of x. Now, like terms are a specific set of terms that have the same variable and the same exponent. It does not have to have the same coefficient. So let's take a look here at some terms that are alike and some terms that are not alike. So here we have 2x and 19x. Now if they don't have an exponent, we know that there's an invisible 1, right? So it has the same letter and it has the same exponent, which makes them like terms. But their coefficients are different. 2 and 19 are different numbers. Unlike terms would be 2x and 19a. And those are unlike because their variables, the letters, are different. Now 4w and 10w are like terms because they are the same variable and again have the same exponent of 1. While their coefficients are not the same, they are still like terms and can be combined. But 4w minus 10w squared are not like terms because the exponents are different. So a w without an exponent has that invisible 1, and then negative 10w squared has a 2. Right? 1 and 2 are different numbers or different exponents, therefore they are not like terms. Now if you go through the rest of the list, you'll get an idea of the like terms and the unlike terms. When it asks you to combine like terms, you can combine them by adding the coefficients. So if we go back to our first example where it said 2x plus 19x, we can simplify that by saying 19, 20, 21. You have 21x. Similarly, if we have 4w minus 10w, you get 4 minus 10, you have negative 6w. Now, identifying like terms. So here, we have negative 6k plus 7k. We have a variable k, they're the same, and they have the same exponent, so they are like terms. Both of them. So negative 6 plus 7, we're going to add our coefficients. We get 1k, which actually simplifies all the way just to k. Our second question, we have 12r minus 8 minus 12. Now 12r is alone because none of these have any r's. But our regular numbers with no variables can also be combined. So negative 8 minus 12 gives you a negative 20. So to simplify this, you'd write 12r minus 20. And then you couldn't simplify anything any further, so that would be as far as you could go. Take a second and try the next two questions. Okay, let's look at this one here. because that is a lot to look at. So we need to break it down. Let's start with the ones that's a little bit easier to look at. This one has an m, and this one has an m. Both of those are going to have a variable of 1, so those are like terms. All right. Second, I see m squared n. So where else can I find that m squared n? Right here. So I know m squared n are like terms with each other because the m is squared and the n has a exponent of 1, right? So I'm going to have to combine those. And then mn squared is actually not alike with anything else, so that one's going to stay the same. So I have a -3 and a 4, so that's just going to leave me 1 m squared n, and then a 4 plus a 5 gives me a 9m minus 7mn squared. So try the last question on your own. The next page has 4 expressions that you can simplify. Take a bit of time simplifying these like terms. Okay, and now we're going to finally solve equations that require combining the like terms. So here we have a 5x minus a 2x. And we know that those are like terms. So I'm going to do 5 minus 2, and I get 3x equals 9. Now here I know that my variable is x. I know that it's being multiplied by 3. So the inverse would be to divide by 3. So I'm going to divide by 3 here, divide by 3 here. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 1x equals 3. My final answer, x equals 3. Here, I have -3y plus 5 plus 4y minus 7 equals 12. So, minus 3y and 4y are my like terms, and then 5 and -7 are my like terms. What's really important to realize is that I'm only combining the like terms that are on the same side of the equal sign, right? So 12 is by itself, so there's nothing to combine it with. I'm just going to leave that alone. -3y plus 4y is 1y, and then 5 minus 7, I'm going to get -2. Now once I have that, I'm going to do the inverse of that -2, which is a +2 to both sides. -2 plus 2 goes away. My y comes down. 12 plus 2 is 14. So y equals 14 is my final answer. Try this next one on your own. All right, and let's work through this last one together. So 3d, 5d, 2d, -5d are all like terms on that side of our equal sign. Now let's take a look on the other side. We have 12, -7, and 11, and those are my like terms. So let's combine those. 3 plus 5 is 8, plus 2 is 10, minus 5 gives me 5. And then minus 8 comes right over, and then 12 minus 7 gives me 5, plus 11 is 16. Now I'm going to add 7d, that cancels out. I have 12d minus 8 equals 16. I'm going to add 8 to both sides. 12d equals 24. and then I'm going to divide both sides by 12 and get D equals 2. That's my final answer.